Hello, welcome to this new topic, cubic function. Okay, so I want you to read this question. This is a question direct from the past paper. So we are going to see the process that we need to carry out in order to get the answers. All right, so please copy this question down. Copy this question down before you come to the graph paper where we'll be doing all the works. Okay. So if you read this question, the first part is find the value of p. So this is the first thing that I want us to do. Okay. So to find the value of p, we get this same function, this part here. We write it, then do the replacement. If you look at it here, okay, have you seen where p is? P is here. So they are asking us, what is the value of y? What is the value of y when x is equals to 2? Okay, what is the value of y when x is equals to 2? So this is what we are supposed to do here. Okay, so what are we supposed to do? This is what we are supposed to do. So we write this equation down as it is, where it is y is equals to y is equals to okay, so this is what we are supposed to do. Y is equals to x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 5. So now, where there is x here, we need to put 2. We need to put 2, just like what I explained here. y2, when p is equals, or when x is equals to 2, what is the value of p? So that is what we are supposed to do. All right? That is what we are supposed to do. Okay? So have you seen what I've done there? I've replaced, where there is x, now I've put 2. So then we work out this part. Then we're supposed to work out this to get the value of p. So this is going to be 8. The first part is going to be 8. The second part is going to be 16. Okay? Then we are going to have 2 minus 5. You know how we are getting the 16 here? This 2 squared is 4. 4 multiplied by 4, we get 16. So when you work out this part, when you simplify this, you are going to get that the value of p is equals to 21. When you simplify this thing, you are going to get that the value of p is equals to 21. So that is the first thing that you are supposed to do. That's the first thing that you are supposed to do. If you want, it's even advisable that you copy this whole diagram on your graph paper. Then here where there is p, okay, you can put now 21. You copy this table. You copy this table, and then while there is p there, you put 21. Okay? So after that, I hope you have the question and you are referring to it. After we have found the value of p, the next thing that we are supposed to do is what? The next thing that we are supposed to do is using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on the x-axis and 2 centimeters to represent 5 units on the y-axis. For this range, for the x, you see there's x here, so it means for the x-axis it will start from -4 up to 2. For the y-axis, this is the range that has been given from -10 up to 25. So this is the next thing that we are supposed to do. So I have already I've already drawn the lines for me here. There is always a 0 here. The 0 is there. So this is our x. axis. This is our x-axis, and then this one is our y-axis. Okay, so now the 2 centimeter, this box here, this box is 2 centimeter, this box here, this is 2 centimeters. So when they are saying 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit, then it will mean that we are going to say 1, 2. If you've seen there, for the x-axis, it only goes up to 2. Then going to the negatives, we are supposed to go up to -4, -2, -3, and -4. Are we together? Then, after we have done this work, we also come now to the y-axis. We come to the y-axis. And the y-axis, if you read the question, look at your question. It says 5 units to represent, 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit. Or 2 centimeters to represent 5 units. 2 centimeters to represent 5 units. 2 centimeters, this 2 centimeters should represent 5 units. So it will be 5, 10, 15, 20. Then we are told we are supposed to go up to 25, as you've seen on the question. And coming to the negatives, we are supposed to go up to -10. So we have -5, -10, okay? So this is what we are supposed to do in terms of writing our x or y plane, okay? Then now we are supposed to start plotting these coordinates. We are supposed to start plotting these coordinates here, all right? These coordinates, okay? Supposed to start plotting these coordinates. Please take note, this one is -1, not 10, okay? This is -1 here. It's not 10. This is erased, okay? So now we are supposed to start plotting these points. I hope you have this question, so you're following me. So the first one is going to be -4, -9. The first one is -4, -9. -4, -9. Okay? -4, we start with the coordinate on the x-axis, then we come to 9. Now, as you can see here, what we have our 10 here, isn't it? So how do we count to get to 9? Or if you want, we can start from where we have -5 here. How do we get to -10? So it will mean each of these two smaller lines, they count as a 1. So we have -5 where it is here. We have -5 where it is here. Then it will mean that when we get 2 lines, we go to 6. Another 2 line, we get 7. Another 2 line, we get to 8, then 9, like that. So now we are looking at this side. We are looking at this side here where we have 9. Our 9 is at this point. This is where we have -4, -9. Then the next point is -3, 1. -3, 1, it's the same thing. -3 is here. So 1, you need to get 2 of these. This is where 1 is. Then -2 also goes with the 1. -2 also goes with the 1. When we go to -1, -1 is -1, -3. So we have -1 here, -1, 2, 3. This is where we have. Then the next one is 0, -5. 0, -5 is right here. 0, -5 is here. And the next one is 1, 1. 1, 1 is this point here. And the last point that we have is 2, 21. 2, 21 because it's 2, p there. 2, p, and we got that p is 21. So we are going to have our 20 is here. So 21 21 will be this point. Okay? Now, go back to our question. What does it say? It says, draw the graph of y is equals to x squared plus 4. What does our question say? Draw the graph of y is equals to x cubed plus 4x squared plus x minus 5. It's the graph that we want. So we need to join these points. That's what it means. We need to join these points. I'm using a pen so that it's clearer, but you can use a pencil. You can use a pencil. So I'm trying to join now these points. Okay, you need to use a smooth curve graph. The graph must be smooth. The graph must be smooth. I'm trying to connect these these points smoothly. Then we go up to that point there. Okay, see where it is, like this. Okay, so have you seen what I've done? This is how our graph is going to appear. This is how our graph is going to appear. Are we together? So for just when you get the value of p, you get 1 mark here. You get 1 mark. Then for this graph that we have drawn, you get 3 marks. Are we together? Okay. Now go back to our questions. Go back to our questions. Go back to our questions. Our question here, the first one, question C, says use your graph to find the solutions of the equations. There are these 3 equations here. So the first equation, how do we do it? So the first equation, if you look at the graph, this, please take note, if you look at this one here, if you look at this part that I have, and the equation, what can you see here? Okay, look at this function here, and then look at this equation. What has happened? Where there is y, we have a 0, isn't it? Where there is y, it's like here we're supposed to have equals to y, but instead of y, we have what? A 0. Please follow me. We have a 0. So it will mean we are looking at what are the x coordinates when y is equals to 0. What are the x coordinates when y is equals to 0? Please follow me. So that is what we are supposed to do here. So we go through, we follow the y-axis. The y-axis, where do we have 0? 0 is here, isn't it? 0 is this point. 0 is this point. So we need to draw, we already have a straight line here. So this, in other words, this, you can even call it y is equals to 0. This x-axis, y is equals to 0. Okay? Y is equals to 0 along this x-axis. So we're going to get the x coordinates here, where this equation which we said y is equals to 0 is meeting or cutting with the graph. So we're going to start with this coordinate that is here. What is the x coordinate here? What is the x coordinate at this point? Okay, so we are saying this is 3, 3.1, 3.2. So this is negative 3.2 here. So when we are writing our answers, that is question C. So I'm going to say C, Roman numeral 1. The first one is x is equals to negative 3.2. Okay, I'm writing my answers. And the second one, I'll come here. What is this point? What is this point here? So this is negative 1. So you're saying negative 1.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is negative 1.7. this one, it's negative 1.7. This point here, negative 1.7. Okay, so I'm going to also write another point here to say another coordinate. Say x is equals to what? Negative 1.7. Negative 1.7. Are we together? Then the last one is this one here. What is the x coordinate here? So this is going to be 0.9. 0.9. So you've seen we have 3 answers. We have 3 solutions here. So this is what we are going to get. This is what we are going to get. So these are the answers. These are the answers, okay? This is what we are supposed to do. All right? I hope you are following. I hope you are following. So we go to the next one. I want you to pay attention here. The question that we have now is what? Look at this part. Okay? I want to start with, what is it? It's like this, isn't it? Oh, sorry, this is minus 5. This is minus 5 here. It's minus 5. Okay? So the first one, what were we saying? The first one was saying this part where there's y. We have a what? We have a 0. So you just go to the y-axis and then you get the coordinates of x where y is equals to 0, like I demonstrated. Then look at this now, this part. I want you to see this part. We have, so what do we have this side? 3. Then when you look at the original question has minus 5 here. So here, look at this. We no longer have minus 5 this side. Where has minus 5 gone? So you are not just going to go and solve for the equation where y is equals to 3. No. Unless if here it is fully written, then at this point you have a what? A 3. You will just go on the y-axis and then get the x coordinates where y is equals to 3. But in this case, okay, I want you to see the difference. If you put 3 here, it's straightforward. If you put 3 here, it's straightforward. It will mean you are going to follow. If we had 3 there, we're just going to come and get, where do we have 3? Where we have 3 here, you draw a straight line. Then get the x coordinates where this graph meets that line. But in this case, what I'm trying to emphasize is that, in this case is that 5 is not here. 5 is not here. So please, in this case, pay attention to this question, because in the lessons to come, I may not re-emphasize this point. In this case here, where we have 5 as disappears and we have a different number here, what you are supposed to do to get the equation of y, you are going to say, what is it that we do not have? 5 is no longer there. So I'm going to say negative 5, which we no longer have, because in the original question we have it. Then plus, I have to add it to this that I have gotten here. What is it? It's 3. If it was a negative, you add it as negative 3. So in this case, we have what? Negative 2. Okay? In this case, we have negative 2. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. In this case, we have negative 2. So it will mean that I'm supposed now to go, please, I hope you're following me, where we have, I'm going now to go back to my graph. I'm going to go back to my graph paper where I'm supposed to demonstrate there. Then I'll draw a straight line that passes through this point. Okay, so you've seen what I was talking about. You draw a straight line, like I've drawn this straight line, on negative 2. So if I want, I can call this line is equals to y is equals to negative 2. Okay, y is equals to negative 2. So I'm going to solve. To solve, it will mean that now we need to get the x coordinates on these 3 points. If they are meeting just at 1 point or 2 points or 3 points, you get all those coordinates on those points. So here I'm going to get the x coordinate at this point where these two equations do meet, at this point also, and the last one here. So I'll still go back here and say, my C Roman numeral 2, what is the x coordinate here? I'm looking at this point. Here now, where they are meeting, here, what is the x coordinate at this point? So we are looking at 3. So we have 3.1234, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be our answers. We're going to have x is equals to 3. Take note, negative 3.4, comma, we need to find another one. We come to this other point here. Okay? This point. What is this point here? What is the x coordinate here? We are going to, from the, this point here where they are meeting. What is the x coordinate here? So the x coordinate here is negative 1, 2, 3. So the second one is x is equals to negative 1.3. Where they meet. Okay? Then the last one, it's this point. The last one, it's this point here. Okay? This is the last one. What is the x coordinate here? So I'm counting from this point. We have 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 0.6. So I will come back here and again say x is equals to 0.6. These are my solutions. These are my solutions to this question. These are my solutions to this question. These are my solutions to this question. Okay? These are my solutions to this question. So, I hope you are following and getting the explanation. The most important thing here is I want you to look at what I'm going to do now on the last question. So if we look at the last question, the last question, the whole part here has been written as it is, isn't it? As in the original question. The only thing is, where there is y here, this part has been, we are saying it's like where the position of y has been taken by this. So it's like we are saying y is equals to, please follow me, y is equals to 2x plus 4. So in other words, we need to find this equation of y is equals to this. Okay? Y is, because on the first one, where we had this one, the position of y had been taken by 0. So we had an equation like y is equals to 0. Okay? Then for the second one, I did explain on how we were going to find y. Said the 5 that was no longer there plus this one, we got negative 2. So in this case now, we need to find this line. Now this line, you know that it's a straight line. It's a linear equation, this one. Okay? So we need to, we have this case. Okay? The coordinates, we are going to get them from this point. Because we need to say, we're going to get the coordinates from this same point here. So, for instance, if I say, we are using this same one. If I get this coordinate here, the last coordinate here, okay? Please follow me. If I get the last coordinate here and say, what is y when x is equals to negative 4? What is y when x is equals to negative 4? I'm using this same equation that I have here. What is y when x is equals to negative 4? It means that where there is x here, I'm going to put negative 4. And when you put negative 4 here, you are going to get what? negative 8. So negative 8 plus 4. Okay? Are you getting what I'm saying? When you put negative here, you get negative 8. Negative 4 here, you get negative 8. Negative 8 plus, you get negative 4. Are we together? Then, it's easier like that, where you just get these extreme points. Maybe the first one and the last one. So I can come to 2 here. Okay? If I put 2 here, this is going to be 2 times 2. What do I get? 4 plus. So if I put 2 here, it means that my y becomes what? 8, isn't it? My y becomes 8. Are you following me? So what we are supposed to do in this case now, we'll get back to the graph paper and plot these points. Negative 4, negative 4. Negative 4, negative 4. You remember, this was negative 2 here, then negative 3, then negative 4 is this point. So this is negative 4, negative 4 here. I hope you've seen what I've done. Then I also need to come to this point and find this other point, which is 2, 8. 2, 8, this is our 5. So we need to 6, 7, 8. This is 6, 7, 8. Our 8 is here. Okay? Have you seen? So then we need to draw a straight line that joins this point here and this one. We need to draw a straight line here that joins these two points, this one and that one. Okay? So if here, for instance here, if when we replaced with negative 4, you get a number, you get a y coordinate which is not on the graph paper, then you need to move to the next one. You try negative 3. Because if you get, for instance, if negative 4 was giving you, if you put negative 4 in that equation, it gives you maybe negative 60 or negative 20, which is not on our graph paper here. As you can see, our graph paper goes up to 10. So you move on and use the next one. So that is the point. So you draw, let's draw a straight line that connects these 2 points. Okay, so this is my line here. This is my line. I don't know how you are going to do yours. These questions, they may be, even the answers, they may have slight variations. Okay, because we are using estimations here. So this is now that equation, which is y is equals to what? 2x plus 4. So we have 2 equations. And remember that this one is y is equals to what? Plus 4 plus x minus 5. Okay? So now we are saying, where do these two meet? Where do these two meet? So we are going to get now the x coordinate of this point where they meet, another point here where they are meeting, and this one. When you get the x coordinates there, that is all what they want you to do. Okay? So we can start with this one here. We can start with this one. You know that this is 1 here. You know that this is 1. So we can say 1.2, 1.2, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, somewhere there. Someone can have 1.3. It's acceptable. So I'm going to say C Roman numeral 3. We have x is equals to what? 1.4. Okay, then we come to this point here. They are also meeting at this point. What is this point? This point is negative 1.8. So we also have negative 1.8. We also have negative 1.8. Okay, we also have negative 1.8. Then we look at the last one, which is this point here where they are meeting here. What is this point? We are coming from this side. So we say negative 3.1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So one of our answers is x is equals to negative 3.5. Negative 3.5. Okay? So, I hope I have explained this. Our answers are here. These are our answers. Okay? These are our answers in case they were not clear. The first one, okay? P is there. Okay. Then the graph is supposed to look like this. Okay? This is how your work must come out. You make sure that your answers are on the graph paper. This is how we are supposed to do the work. Okay? So, this is just part of the lessons that I'm supposed to present to you, but I think we have covered what I can even call 50% of the work, but we'll still do more just to get more familiar and acquainted with the stuff. Okay? So, in most cases, on this part of the equations, maybe they may give you one or so. Like this question, I just added one. This was a question that was in 2020, as you can see. Okay? They brought two. This is where this question came from. I just added one question there because I needed to explain something. Okay? That's very clear there. Okay? This is 2020 for the internals. Okay? So, please redo this question on your own, even without the, after I've explained, after some time, try to reattempt it. Solve the equations. That is the most important thing there. So, let me try to give you some questions that you can just solve like part of it. I'll just tell you, do just part of it. Part of it. Are we together? Just part of it. Okay, so let's do this question. Let's do this question here. Okay. This one has, okay. Thank you very much.